Okay, so this is a video about my new Tascam 1608. Um, it's replacing my old US 1641 interface, which I've been using for about the last 6-7 years at this point for multi-tracking drums. It's been a great unit. I've had like very little problems, if any at all, with it. But it's almost 10 years old, and Tascam has basically just abandoned it completely. It's no longer going to release any new drivers for the 1641, and that means that I've been stuck on Mac OS 10, 1012 or 1011 for the past 6 months. Mac OS 1012 Sierra came out in October, and I just haven't been able to update to it just because I knew that once I did that, the drivers would just break, and I wouldn't be able to record drums anymore. So I went ahead and bit the bullet and bought the 1608, which is, I think, 2 generations after the 1641. And now I can update my software. So I just kind of wanted to go over some of the differences between the two devices. I don't know if there's anybody out there that is using these, especially drummers specifically. I think the 1641 is a great device, especially for a drummer. If you're going to record drums, you're going to need a lot of inputs, and these devices give you that. So I just pulled this out of the box. I haven't even set it up yet, but you notice right off the bat it's quite a bit smaller than the 1641. If we go over to the 1641, you can see it's a pretty big, full rack mount device. Man, it's not focusing. But if we put the 1608 on top of it, you kind of see what I'm talking about. It's much smaller. See, you got the 1641. I mean, it's like 3/4 of the size of the 1641, and I think that has to do with the fact that the 1641 has must have a built-in power supply because it's got an AC cable. Whereas the 1608, it actually uses this wall wart AC to DC adapter with a little barrel connector. So yeah, some design changes going on there, but it's cool. Smaller device, less of a footprint in the already tiny studio that I'm in, aka a spare bedroom in my house. But other than that, a couple other things that are a little different. The 1641 was advertised as 16 in and 4 out. I could not figure out. I only count 14 in on the 1641, at least analog. I think they're counting this digital in here as a stereo pair in and calling that 16 in, but I never used these, and I never used more than 14 inputs anyways. There are the 4 outputs on the 1641 versus the 8 outputs on the Focus, 8 outputs on the 1608. We still have the additional line-in balanced inputs with the line level switches, which are nice. On the front, we've got pretty much the same thing going on here. We've got our 8 XLR inputs, phantom power on all 8 in 2 groups of 4, 1 through 4, 5 through 8. Same here, 1 through 4, 5 through 8. and we also have our additional 2 line inputs. So that's our 10 inputs. Yeah, 10 inputs on the front, both with line and level switches. So that's pretty much the same. Then we got our gain knobs for all channels, at least for these 10 on the front. So we got our gain knobs for the 10 on the front. And the one thing that's different that kind of worries me here is the 1641 has this knob here, which is the mix of input from the mics going into the interface and the computer. So like if you're tracking, you're playing, like if I'm playing along in Logic, there's a song playing that I'm recording drums to, and I'm listening to that song through here, through the headphones. I can adjust the level of that song volume versus the volume of the inputs from my mics with this knob. It's really handy. I use it all the time. If the music is too quiet or too loud, I just adjust it with this knob. Works perfectly. The 1608 just doesn't have that, which is weird. It's even weirder when you look at like the lower end models of this generation, like the 16404 or something like that. It's got this knob, so that makes me wonder if like the software replaces that feature. I haven't installed any of the software yet. I haven't even plugged this thing into power yet, but I'm hoping that that function is going to be there somewhere. It's kind of sucks that it's not this anymore, because this is just easy. So yeah, but the one cool thing about the 1608 is that it doesn't even need drivers for Mac. The way they designed it, basically the Mac is going to recognize it as an input-output device with all 16 channels right off the bat, which is great, because that means I'm not going to have to worry about stupid drivers, no matter how much Apple updates their operating system, which seems to be a yearly thing now. So that's cool. Logic's going to recognize it right away. The additional software, I'll definitely install it just to take a look and see what it does. Other than this function here, I don't know if I will use it that much, to be honest, because I pretty much do everything in Logic once I get the drums tracked. But yeah, so that's the 1608 upgrade from the 1641. I'm going to go ahead and hook it up and install some software. I don't have my drums here with me right now. They're at the Space Elevator house, but I'll probably just connect, I don't know, a couple of these mics and bang on a hand drum or something. I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably maybe make another video demoing the 1608 with a full kit once I have my kit back at the house. So that's 1608 Tascam USB microphone interface.